Dikduk Masoret Hamikra Parashat Kedoshim 2. Several words in Pasuk Kaf from Perek Yutet require explanation, and as Ebenezer goes into this, I'll discuss it now. V'ish ki yishka v'tisha shichvat zera v'hi shivcha necharefet leish v'hofdeh lo nifdata or hufsha lo nitan la bikoret tiyeh lo yimetu ki lo hupasha. The words v'hofdeh and hufsha are unique, and they're explained by the Ebenezer. Hofdeh, he says it comes from, it's first of all Shema Par. It's a noun derived from the verb that is derived, that is associated with binyan hofal. It is according to him, binyan shelo nekra shem paolo me'agaved anosaf. It's the hofal from the hifril. Kaved anosaf is binyan hifril. The hofal is the individual or the item receiving the action from binyan hifril done by somebody else, and the kamatz hatuf vehofdeh indicates it's a hofal. The other word here is hofsha. Hofsha is a little unusual. There's no dagesh in the hay. It doesn't mean, if it was a dagesh in hay, it would have said hofsha, which means hofesh shelah, her freedom. That's not what it says. It says or hofsha without a dagesh. So what does hofsha mean? Ebenezer writes, Beshuruk, he means a kubutz here as well. He uses the term shuruk a lot for a kubutz. Bimkom kamatz hatuf. Normally, you would have had a kamatz hatuf under the head. So it should have really said hofsha, the freedom, not her freedom, but the word freedom, hofsha. Hofsha comes from the word hofish. So here, because there is a letter where, sometimes that instead of the kamatz katan, you have it switched over to a kubutz, to a kubutz, to three dots, like a shuruk or kubutz. Here it's a kubutz in most cases this way, but it is from the same type of construction, and it means hofish. It does not mean hofish elah. It's just like the word hofish. So hofish and hofsha means vacation. In other words, her freedom was not given to us, not a vacation. Today it's used for that. But it means hofish, that her freedom was not given to her. Vehofdeh means she was not redeemed, or her freedom was not given to her in a different way. Then the bikoret here. And we're going to discuss that in the next section. So hofsha is without a dagesh. It's different from hofsha with a dagesh, which means hofish elah. Here hofsha means hofish itself. It means freedom by itself. She was not given that. The fact that there's a kubutz, in many cases you have the word, for example, he cites the word maskoret, then kometz, instead of komtzo, with the kamatz katan, a kamatz hatuf derived from the holam, it's not written that way. It's written kumso with a kubutz. Same thing, maskoret, it's maskurto or maskurti with a kubutz in place of the holam, which normally when you change that form, it goes into a kamatz katan, which is derived. It's part of. In other words, the nikud for tenuah gedolah is a holam. That complementary nikud for tenuah ketana is a kamatz katan. But here, what happens is the kamatz katan is exchanged for a kubutz in many cases with particular words like this: hofsha, kumso, maskurto. They all have a kubutz instead of a kamatz katan, which normally comes from the holam.